Hey everybody, welcome back. Got a new demo for you guys today. Try to keep doing these anytime I get a new piece of gear. I find it pretty fun to do the demos, and hopefully it's helpful to you guys watching out there. So anyway, today I'm going to do the Peavey 6505 MH. This amplifier obviously it's a pretty small box. It's pretty light. It's got two channels, rhythm channel and a lead channel, with two modes on the rhythm. There's a clean and a crunch, and then of course there is the lead, which is what these guys are really known for. 3-band EQ, so low, mid, and high. Two independent volume controls. There's no technical master volume on the amp, but the way these work is these two knobs here are your pre-gain, which is basically your gain adjustment, and then these are post-gain, which are your volume adjustments. So each channel has its own volume. So you do have to balance them against each other, and if you have to be louder, you have to turn both of them up and rebalance them. But either way, it does work, and you can get a really good sound at a reasonable volume with it. Has a reverb control here, and then finally presence and resonance, which control both channels. So when you adjust these, it'll affect your green and your red. So this amp, real quick, just want to mention features on it. If you're not familiar with it, it's really, really awesome. This thing has adjustable power output, 20 watts, 5 watts, or 1 watt, which is very usable. I find here at the house most of the time I leave it on 1 watt, and I think it sounds great, and it's quiet enough to where I can play it most of the time without really causing any headaches around here. Also, it has a microphone, basically a mic'd speaker simulation output, and it has it with an XLR jack or a USB, so you can take just a USB cable, plug it into the back of this, into your computer, and you have got yourself a recording setup in this box. Also, and I think the coolest feature that this amp has, as if those weren't cool enough, also has a built-in dummy load. So on the back panel, you can push a button and it cuts off the speaker output, so you don't have to make any sound at all with this amp, but you can still play it hooked to nothing with that, because whereas most tube amps you have to hook up a speaker cabinet, otherwise you risk damaging the amplifier. With this one, if that button is engaged, you don't have to have a speaker hooked up. So you can record with it without any sound coming from a speaker. And also it has a headphone jack, so you can plug in your headphones, turn the speaker off, and all you need is this head and a pair of headphones. You don't even have to have a cabinet. So I think that's a really awesome feature. So I'm going to go through just a few sounds with it. As always, please excuse my playing ability. It's not that great, but just want to showcase what this thing does, because I'm honestly very impressed with it. I think it's got a lot of ability. So with that, I'm going to start out on the clean channel. I will adjust the gain on it so you can see what it's got there. I will use a clean boost in front of it at certain points, and I think you'll be pretty impressed with what this amp will do. Okay, so I'm going to start out, and you should notice that there's two red lights right here. When I hit this, they're going to go green, and what that is checking the tubes as it's running, and if they're green, you're good, and if they go red, you have a problem with one of your power tubes in there. So and it's a EL84 power section in this amp. So I'm on 20 watt mode. I'm going to start out with clean, and I'm on the neck pickup here. This is a Gibson Les Paul Custom. It's a 498T 490R. I've got the volume all the way up on the neck pickup. So that's just pretty much dry. I'm going to bring in the reverb, put it about about 4.5 on the reverb. It's a real nice reverb. It adds a lot of dimension to it. It's actually really good. So just because I'm going to turn the reverb all the way up so you can kind of see what it's got. Okay, I'm going to take the reverb out. And at this point, I'm just going to run through real quick. My gain is on 2. The EQ section all the way across is on 6, so just kind of a flat sound. Volumes are on 3 for the rhythm and about 2.5 on the lead. Presence and resonance are on 7. So that's just, like I said, good middle of the road sound. You can tweak it and get a lot of different things from there, but this is just a really good, straight across sound. So anyway, so again, that was gain 2. So I'm going to go up to 5, and again, this is still on clean. I do not have it on crunch mode. This is just the clean. So with the gain now on 5. Okay, so that was gain on 5. So, and I like the clean channel when the gain is up. It gives it a really nice Marshall-y kind of sound. But I really like it. It's one of my favorite features is what the clean channel will do when it's pushed without the crunch button. So that's 5. Let me take it to 8 on the gain for the clean. So again, very nice with the clean channel pushed. So just because I can, I'm going to go ahead and max the gain. Again, remembering this is the clean channel. So again, I like it. Now, I have added the clean boost to the maxed out clean channel. So that is that one. Clean boost is now off. I'm going to take the gain back down to about 2 and engage the crunch button. And interesting to note, the background noise seemed to lower just then. So hopefully you can hear that hum, and it kind of goes away. I don't know why that is, but anyway, so gain on 2, and this is the crunch mode of the amp. And maybe it's just me, but I can't help but think that some soap bar P90s would be just really nice with that sound there. So anyway, okay, let's take that gain to 5 on crunch mode and see what it does there. Alright, and now you're going to hear the 6505 come out of it now. I'm going to take this gain to 8, and I don't normally play it this high, but I'm going to do it just for this demo. So this is the crunch mode on 8. And this thing, I don't know how this microphone's going to pick it up, and I will do in the future. I will do a demo with speaker cabinet mic, and I'll also do one with the USB output as well. But for now, I'm just using the camera mic, so I'm hoping it picks this up, because the saturation in the bottom end that come in past 6, if you're at like 5.5, it's pretty good. But when you go beyond that, the saturation in the bottom that come in are just incredible. So again, just because I'm going to go ahead and bring the gain up to 10 on this channel, and we will see what that does. So what I'm going to do now is the way I usually will do it is I'm going to go ahead and take this to a back to 6 on the gain, and then I'm going to go ahead and use a boost on the front end of it. So let me work that out real quick, and you'll kind of hear a little more from it that way. This is going to be wrong, but I'm going to do it anyway. So, anyway, that is your crunch mode. Alright, so with the boost off, now we're going to go over to where the magic happens on this amp, and we'll take it to the lead channel, and you can hear that it gets significantly louder when you do that. So this is gain on 2 on the lead channel, and again I did say 2. Alright, so again, 2. Now what you can do here, because once you bring that gain up, this thing gets so nasty that, you know, to me you can't use it. Maybe somebody else can. Anyway, so take it at 2, put the clean boost in front of it. Hopefully you can hear that. That does pretty good. I won't say that it nails Metallica because it doesn't, but I think it's a pretty good interpretation. So, okay, now this, I'm going to turn it to 4. This is usually the most I ever use on this thing, and if I'm not going to use the clean boost pedal, I will use the gain on 4, but if I am going to boost it, typically I will stay on about 2. So we'll try some things with it on 4. So again, that's 4, and that's usually where I keep it. I prefer to not use the clean boost pedal, so a lot of times I'll just run it on 4 there, and that's plenty for me. That may be not enough for some, too much for others, but I like it right there. And I had a funny thought just then as I was doing this. You think Les Paul ever imagined this kind of sound coming out of one of his guitars? Anyway, so just because I can lead gain on 8. Apologize. That's not usually my type of playing, so I don't really have anything to play. So I'm gonna back that down, and you can hear this is on 4, but it does have some hiss and hum, and it's not that loud. It's only on like 2.5 on the volume. So I brought that up. It's yeah. It's definitely got a lot of noise. So anyway, disengaging the lead going to crunch, it gets much quieter, and I'm going to go ahead and put it on standby. So okay, well that's it. I just wanted to demo that new one for you guys, and again, my demos, I know some I've gotten some good view counts and responses for, and I thank you for that. Obviously I'm not a professional player or demo guy. I just enjoy doing it. I've seen guys like Ola England, Tone King. I've seen these guys do it. I'm jealous of the stuff they get to demo. So I'm just using my own gear. Some of it's really good. Some of it's, like this is $4.99 brand new. But I think it's one of the best bang for your buck values out there. And typically I'm a Marshall guy, but this is a really good amp. I've been thoroughly impressed by it, and everybody that's heard it has really been blown away with what it'll do. With the gain knob having so much range, you can do all kinds of things. Clean, I wouldn't really plan on having a clean. As you heard, you can get one, but the issue is that when you run it, when it's clean, the gain knob has to be down extremely low, and the louder you play, the lower it has to be. So what happens is, by the time that you're at say gig volume, and you're trying to get a clean, this gain would be so low that you would have no crunch, and so you would have clean and you'd have lead, and that's such a stark contrast that I don't know if that would work practically. Now granted, some people who play nothing but heavy music with occasional clean breaks, okay, it would probably work fine for you, but for anybody else like myself who really likes to have, if at all possible, 3 tones available, it's not as useful in a live situation. But for a recording amp, for a house amp, this thing is just awesome. As I said, with direct recording and everything, it makes it great. You can sit there at 3 o'clock in the morning if you want to and plug this thing into your computer with no audio coming out of it, no speaker connected, and you can record away. It acts as its own DI interface, so you do not have to have anything but a USB cord to plug this in. You don't have to have an interface to run it through anything. As long as you've got a DAW workstation, that's all you need. Plug this in, it will show up as an audio device, and you can record with it. So very cool in that respect. And like I said, I think that the tones coming out of the speaker cabinet are also really good with this amp. So good value, great product. Peavey has done a terrific job with this one, and I'm glad that I get to own one and I get to demo it for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the demo there. Hopefully it helps you if you're on the fence about buying one. And if there's any questions, just comment. But thank you again for watching.